This past year, I posted over 160 videos on YouTube and I learned a ton about the guitar gear community, a lot of which was honestly pretty shocking to me. Every YouTube niche has its quirks, but dude, guitar world needs to relax. I'm not sure that there's many other niches with an audience that is beyond concerned with how a single piece of gear might make them sound 5 to 10% better, and spoiler alert, there's not a single piece of gear that's gonna make you a better guitarist. If you don't know how to make it happen with the gear you have, then buying more expensive stuff is not suddenly gonna change that. But alas, the diehards will rage on. Anyway, today I wanna share with you some of my more outrageous and surprising observations about the gear community on YouTube. It's funny, because in the pop touring world of LA, no one is talking about whether or not we should use modelers. It's pretty much a given that you're using one or you have one at the ready for a tour. And no one is arguing that tube amps don't sound better. They've just been relegated to a studio tool. So little old me coming onto the YouTube scene here assumed that everyone had also made this move. I could not have been more completely wrong. One of my first videos to do well was called Why Guitarists Are Getting Rid of Their Amps. I shared my experience touring with amps, how mine broke, and how every music director along the way would ask if I had an amp replacement. And to my surprise, I was met by leagues of tube amp aficionados who informed me that I was wrong, my experience was wrong, and that no one was doing this. Then when I further addressed this issue in my video Why I Don't Miss Amps, the same crap happened again. It just feels like anytime someone talks about why they're not using an amp, somebody in the amp world is like, oh my gosh, we gotta go get this guy. Somebody get on that video and tell them that they're wrong. You've all been heard loud and clear. The tube amp cult is not dead. And honestly, it seems like Guitar Gear YouTube is single-handedly gonna keep the tube amp manufacturers in business. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I like tube amps more than I like digital too. I've said that in both of those videos, and heck, maybe I'll go back to playing on amps one day. I used to be really involved with the worship world and I would play just about every weekend, but in the past 2 years, I think I've played maybe 10 times. There was a period of about 8 months where I didn't even play at a church, and yet when people see these 3 Strymons right here, they immediately go, worship guitarist. Kind of ironically, I didn't even buy those Strymons for worship. I was involved with this alternative rock band and we were doing a long set, and I needed to easily scroll through different MIDI presets, so getting all 3 Strymons made it simpler for everything to operate together. But I will say I did learn about the 3 Strymons from church, but I didn't buy them for church. Anyway, anytime this pedal board shows up in one of my videos, I pretty much always get someone commenting about worship guitarist. You're a worship guitarist. You must be a worship guitarist. So it would appear that the YouTube community has decided if you have 3 Strymons, you are automatically a worship guitarist. Whatever, dude. They sound good. Get one and you'll see.
The Strymon zone.
When I first started this YouTube journey back in January, I assumed that my experience touring and working in the industry as a music director and a sideman would help me build rapport with my audience. Yeah. No, that proved to be a completely incorrect assumption. It didn't matter that I'd worked on tours for Emlyn, LP, Weezer, Noah Cyrus, etc., etc. I still get comments from people who I can tell have no experience touring telling me that they know more than me, especially when it comes to amps. I have one thing to say to the 5 of you who claim you have supersonic hearing and you can tell the difference between tube and digital live. Congrats. Is that a Helix? Helix. Yeah. Anyway, what I realize is YouTube is not about your resume, it's about a connection with the person on the screen. Or maybe better said, it's more about a consistent showing of value, personality, and the right mix of content that builds up that authority on a subject with YouTube. Heck, half the big guitar channels on YouTube are guys that probably don't have experience touring, and there's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't make someone better than another. It's just funny that if one of those said channels were to be like, I'd never use a digital amplifier. Oh. Gosh. Then legions of the guitar community will rise up and hunt down anyone who says different. It's just Guitar Gear, guys. Use what sounds good to you, and it's really that simple. When I first started making gear videos on YouTube, I assumed people looked up the gear they were interested in, clicked on a video, and then made an assessment. No, 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 no. This comment sums it up best. Tone X is better because I have one and I have to justify myself. I laughed pretty hard the first time I read that comment, and it was honestly also refreshing because someone is finally saying the truth. People look for videos that are either gonna reinforce their belief on gear, or people click on videos that have titles they disagree with so they can get all riled up watching the video and then take it all out in the comment section.
Bro uses all those pedals to trick people into thinking he's actually good.
Not to harp on this video, but within the first 10 seconds of Why I Don't Miss My Amp, I said tube amps are better, and I spelled it out in text across the screen. Tube amps sound better. And I still get comments from people saying I am wrong and tube amps are better. So now I know it doesn't really matter whether your video is an honest review or opinion. People have already made up their mind. Just thank them for giving your video traction. But seriously, allow your need to relax and honestly just read the title. It's why I. It's not why you should or why you need to get rid of. It's okay if you disagree with the video. I'm not telling you to get rid of your tube amp.
Bubba, I don't know about this.
I'm not telling you to get rid of your pedal board.
Hey, where are you going?
To the dumpster?
Wait, why?
Justin told me to throw away my pedal board.
No, he didn't.
Are you sure?
Yeah, come back inside.
Okay.
Whether you want to use a Hello Kitty guitar or a Marshall stack, it's fine. There's an interesting trend going on where I've noticed some of the larger gear review channels are posting videos about toxic gear culture or how they're done doing pay for review type videos on YouTube. And it seems like the general guitar community is in a little bit of a weird place with these kind of videos too. It kind of reads like if you guys think someone is getting paid to say something, then you absolutely can't trust them. The reviews are always way too positive and that person has no credibility anymore. You know, the usual complaints. And honestly, that feels a little bit odd to me. Now, I haven't been around long enough to know what the demands of that on a day-to-day basis are like, but for me, I just say yes to brands that I like and I like the product they're trying to promote. If a company is offering me money to promote a product or to review a product, but it's something I don't like or don't resonate with, I just say no. And I'd imagine that most people on YouTube are operating this way, or at least I'd hope so. For the most part, companies have offered me gear in hopes of receiving a review type video in exchange. I don't have to say I like the product. I don't have to promote 5 key points, none of that. They just kind of say, here's the product, give it a whirl and say what you think. Sure, take things with a grain of salt, but like I said before, it seems like you might have already made up your mind. Not only did I have my fair share of stereotype guitarists, you know, the guys who always know more than you, the guys who can always play it better than the guy on the screen, and the ones who act like if you don't play guitar exactly like me, then well, you suck. Oh, I think I can do that. Oh, I could do it better. Wow, their tone sucks. Even with all that, I've actually made some pretty cool friendships through YouTube. And for as many annoying comments as I receive, I get just as many nice ones. It's cool to see how these videos can bring joy, knowledge, or even just a break from the day to others. But deeper than that, it seems like there's a strong contingent of you who are looking for more than just guitar gear. My confessional style videos like the problem with guitar culture, my job as music side hustles, am I just a worship guitarist have consistently performed well, and that's super cool to me. One, because I actually just like making those kind of videos, and two, I love the humanizing effect it has on the community. This channel isn't just about gear and the quad cortex, it's more than that. It's about being a musician and going through the highs and lows of building a career, a business, and ultimately following a creative pursuit. And if you're just here for gear, well, it's totally fine. Seriously, it's fine. At any rate, I really enjoyed this year on YouTube, and while the guitar gear community might not be exactly what I thought it would be, it's still entertaining, fascinating, interesting, and I do learn a lot. Next year, I'm gonna continue with the gear videos and also incorporating some new ideas here and there. As much as I love gear, it's only a fraction of the equation, and it's all gotta come back to music at the end of the day. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will catch you next time.
Yeah, the gear community, you know, I've got mixed opinions on them. So, what am I saying? What's my line?
Something about some appreciate me.
Some of them appreciate me, some of them don't. Paparazzi.